Hey folks, welcome to another raid video. And as promised before, this is the second in the series of the Platinum Arena push videos. So like I said, I'm going to be, regardless of how well I do, I'll post my Platinum Arena pushes every single week from now on. I find watching other people's really helps me out, especially if they make mistakes, to be honest, which I make a hell of a lot of, because then you can learn from them, from other people making the mistakes rather than you doing it. So it's really useful, these videos, I think. So I'll be posting one every single week for the foreseeable future anyway, and we'll see how we get on. So let's get on with this week's one, and yeah, at the end there'll be a short kind of video on the champions I use, gear, but I've not changed a lot recently. I haven't had that good drops from Fire Knight and whatnot, so we'll just go ahead and see what we did. So we'll just make the camera disappear, and here we are, the recording. So we're 26 minutes to go here. And what you'll find in this video this week is I've actually been a lot more picky about the teams I was facing, which definitely helped me out, but I really need to get faster at picking them. So I'm still using this, I'm dead set on using this team. I've not actually changed it from last week at all. I haven't done any, I think I maybe added one piece of kit into them. Swift parry is the thing that's really bugging me just now. It's so annoying, because if it wasn't for Swift parry, this team I firmly believe would be absolutely top tier. But that's only because of the teams that are about right now. If it wasn't for Swift parry, these teams probably wouldn't exist. So who knows? But even with the Swift parry, it's not too much of an issue, I'm finding. As you can see here, you can, as long as you target the right champions with Kaimar's reset, you can pretty much secure yourself a win. It's just not super fast all the time. Yeah, it's a weird animation that the Inquisitors do there. They kind of shoot Tormund in between him taking a shot as well. It's quite cool. So the A1s there will finish off. There we go. Another Swift parry proc. Unbelievable. So this was a much longer fight than I would have wished for. You'll see a lot of this in this push. I did pretty well, but yeah, there was a lot of slow fights that I could have won a lot faster if Swift parry procs had have gone my way. So definitely could have placed a lot higher. But I'm not to say what I did yet, but I didn't do too bad in this one. So that's that team. Yeah, I was really picky about the teams I was going for. What I'm looking for is higher resistance, so 318 resistance, that's good. Anything over like 400 resistance, that's kind of the dream for this team, because it just deals with them so easily, because most of the time they don't have Swift parry. So there we didn't get a proc. We did get a proc on the Duchess though, which is a pain. There we go, we can kill Duchess, and then boost round and get Sify before she can now use her ability. There we go, I target Chris first there, and then it just leaves the one champion now, which is, unfortunately, a Tormund, which means you have to kill him twice, which is a bit of a pain, which slows you down. But that's the break, so we should be able to do it in just about a minute. Inquisitor A1s, take some of those buffs away. Hopefully he doesn't have, yep, he did have Swift parry on as well, obviously. Everyone is running Swift parry just now, it's ridiculous, honestly. It's just far too much, like I've said in my other videos, way too much of a chance of actually happening. RNG is not fun for Arena. Incidentally, Inquisitor could, if I can get the right build, this team might even be able to mitigate that, because his A1 does remove a random buff, but you need good accuracy to make it work. So that is the next goal, is I'm going to try and build my Inquisitors with the crazy high damage they need, plus, yeah, absolute ton. Oh, so here we go, we're actually using my Kitus team here. Kitus team is brilliant against any sort of team like this, because I've got Seeker going next. My Cardinal just survives there, and now it's an easy win. You just strip, provoke Trunda just in case things go wrong and you get a weak hit on Trunda, and blow them up. So that was nice. That was I didn't actually see the time there, but I think that was only sort of 15-20 seconds. So any teams like that are really, really strong for this. Works really well with these sort of teams too that are running hegemons. So didn't actually get to go there. Oh, got blown up there. Well, that was a tough Trunda, so that was a loss. That was unfortunate. Shouldn't have gone against that team. Bone Crusher. Try this one though. Doesn't have the Madame here, so it might be a bit easier. In fact, it will be. I definitely will survive this one. So survive that, no problem. Revive. This is a really, really solid team. So if it wasn't for Swift Parry and all the teams being super tanky and full of all these crazy champs now, this team would be doing really well, because as you can see, it's super easy to get like 15-20 second runs with this team. But yeah, there's just tons of Necrits and their Sagas and Duchess and High Resistance and Swift Parry. And oh, so we had a Nuke Hedgie there. Now, the Nuke Hedgie, if I'd actually managed to kill my Madame there, it would have been much better, but I've managed to wing it and still get round to this point, because we need Madame to do the strip. And then Kaitis, like I've seen in my video before, he's got a crazy A3 that only appears when he's low health, and it does an absolute ton of damage, so really strong there. We're getting a few wins nice and quick with that team, so that's pretty good. Just having a look, I think at the moment, this is the sort of team I'll be looking to do with my Inquisitor team though, but it's 247k power, so I'm thinking that's going to be Swift Parry fest, so I'm not even going there. Anything that's like looks with those typey tanky champions, Rector of Death, plenty of revivers, and that girl there, actually, she's a bit of a nightmare. She has the revive on death, so I've avoided that one as well. This is the perfect sort of team, because they're such high resistance. Chances are they're not going to be in Swift Parry, so we've gone against this team instead, and you'll see it deals with this team pretty easily. Doesn't sleep them, but it doesn't matter at all. Managed to sleep Duchess, actually, because I've done that, and I've killed both the revivers right away. Unfortunately, didn't sleep the Candraphone, but he's not able to do a ton of damage to me with the mitigation coming from Duchess. And there we go, 20 seconds, easy. So as you can see, if I'd gone against the 224k power team there, that would have taken me so much longer, because I would have been fighting against all these Swift Parries. So I did, in this reset, just constantly look for the right type of teams to fight, which was a bit better. Right, so here we go. We're going with 243k power team, going with a Kaitis team this time, because Trunda's in there. So there we go, block the debuff from Ghostborn, and up we go, strip, and hit Trunda. So you could easily do like a 10-second run on this if I just, just quickly spammed the A1 from Seeker, to be honest, but you risk taking a weak hit on Trunda, so it's always worth being safe, because that team's pretty useless. If it doesn't kill them on that turn, then you're pretty screwed. So 300k, that looks like Swift Parry fest again. 384k, but it's got the Hegemon, so I don't really fancy running on that one. Swift Parry, definitely. As you can see, being much more picky, just spending the 5 gems if I need to. That's the thing, guys, it's only 5 gems, just spend it and look at the next sheet. 327, that might be a little bit better. I decided to take the gamble with this one, mainly because they only have the one reviver. It really helps. Obviously Valkyrie will cut in here, but her cutting in's not really too much of an issue, I find, anymore, because Kaimar just strips them anyway. There we go, strips them all, and now we can just blast Sify out, and this is now an easy one. So I probably should have taken out Seeker there, because he was awake and Chris was asleep, but that's fine. A little mistake, but it's only cost me a couple of seconds. Now he does have Swift Parry, but she does not. Now, 40-second run, not ideal, but it's not too bad at all. As long as you're doing under-minute runs with this team, it's not too bad. But if you're really wanting to push for like top 10 sort of idea, it's definitely too slow. But at the moment, I'm not in that position to do it with the gear I've got, so I'm happy with what I'm doing. managing to hang in there, and it's a pretty cool team that I built myself, so I'm quite happy with it. There we go, Swift Parry, definitely. I'm just looking at the powers here. I'm wanting to find a higher power team. There we go. Again, only what one. Well, we've got 2 revivers here actually, but got the speed lead in here. So there we go. Do our usual strip. Now, Necrit has got the ability on Trunda there, but I still managed to provoke, and boom, blow them up. Nice and easy. Really satisfying team this. It's definitely a super strong team this for getting really, really quick wins against Trundas. So if meta changes and there's a lot more team, I don't know why I paused on this for so long. Maybe my phone rang again. If the meta continues to go down that route and it's back to kind of more Trundas and things like that, then I think this team will be really strong because you could be pushing out 15 to 16, 10 to 15 second runs all the time. Yeah, I am not sure why I waited this long. It must have been a phone call, no doubt. Something always happens when it's on platinum reset for me. But it wasn't too long. And there are 60 minutes to go, so still got plenty of time. The other thing I did stop doing as well was I actually stopped checking my position a lot. I just find it easier to just play, just concentrate on what you're doing and just play the game. Just look for the teams, because anything else you're doing just wastes a bit of time, and you're against the clock on platinum reset, so you want to go as quick as you can. This looks like a pretty solid team for the Inquisitor team. As you can see, there's not too many pickings for the Kitus team. If there was more Nuke Hegemons in the meta just now, the Kitus team would be even better because Nuke Hegemon's great against it because you know you're going to be getting hit first. Just about died there with the Candraphon, but I think I might pull this one back. But Nuke Hedges are kind of dead at the moment, so most of them are CC, which makes fighting Hegemon teams a bit of a gamble, to be honest. So I don't tend to do that. I tend to just fight the super fast rush Trunda teams. They're a bit easier because you know what they're doing. Right, we kill the Candraphon, that's the danger, and boom, 38 seconds. Not too bad. Got a little bit lucky surviving the Candraphon hit there, but I've made my team fairly tanky as well, so it's worked well. Easy enough to fight Tormund's. 1 reviver here, so I've gone against. A little bit risky with the Warlord. He's a bit of a pain, but I managed to sleep him, which was very lucky. Luckily, we kill Duchess. Warlord's a real pain. Really strong champion. With the Relentless kicks in there. And we've got a Tormund now just to finish, so this is a bit of a grind. But it looks like it will be about a 40 to 50 second run again. Have to use A1s to finish him off. Gurgle, I have still been avoiding him. He's a bit of a pain, to be honest. I'm still not totally sure how to fight him yet, so I have avoided Gurgles in this platinum reset. And any fast leads into, okay, this is a nice solid high power team. Sandslash is a really strong champion actually, really good in arena just now. So we get cut in, but it's no problem, we can sleep. Sandslash doesn't get slept, but we want to take out the 2 revivers, so yep. Pretty much every Rector death that I've seen built is in Swift Parry, so just expect that to happen with her. It happens all the time. So she's going to be able to revive the Siphi, unfortunately. I was hoping, I think I did my A1 on her here to hope that I maybe removed the buff, but it didn't happen. But because she's got such low health, this is the thing about Swift Parry that makes it's not actually too bad, because I can now just use my A1, not waste my A3. Unfortunately, I have to AoE here and take a couple of hits and slow the team down. And stupidly, Siphi is still veiled up there, so I couldn't hit her. She brings up Valkyrie. But now I can sleep them and take out the Siphi, and it's now just a case of working through it. So a bit of a slow on this, 1 minute 15, 1 minute 16, ticking away just now, but we're still getting the win. But again, swift parry. it's RNG. If it had gone the other way, this would have been over in 30, 40 seconds. So it is really frustrating that RNG is coming down to how you win at the moment, or how fast you win, I should say. Luckily, they did not have Lydia, so I was able to do that revive. So again, more to, but it's got a Hegemon, so I didn't fancy that. The Trunda team there at the bottom actually had a Tormund in it, so that's no use for the Kitus team, because when the Kitus or anyone gets revived, they've got a chance to get frozen, so that's no use. So I tend to avoid any Tormund teams with the Kitus team. So she cuts in, does all her stuff. Now I'm able to strip everyone, and there we go. Reviver is down. Nice and easy win now. So many Torments, but Torment is not a problem. But he does slow things down, I will give him that. He makes what would be a sort of 20, 30 second run into a 40, 45 second run. And he's frozen my guy. With block buffs on as well, how rude. And he's got swift parry, yeah. Swift parry Tormund is a bit of a pain, really, to be honest. No intention of ever killing you, just gonna make your life really annoying. There we go. Unfortunately didn't have the A3 up there, would have been a bit easier. So another 1 minute run, so we've had a couple of 1 minute runs now, which is not ideal. Starting to slow down a bit. That team there is not usable for Kitus because of Warlord. Speed into Warlord is not a good thing. So 437k, this is an easy one for me. Can even say that without remembering how I did. Hopefully I didn't lose this one now that I've said that. Still managed to sleep a few people, but high resistance equals no swift parry usually. Now they're both sleeping, so I just took out the big Mountain King. Candrafont is a problem, but have enough time to get back round and do this anyway, so it's no problem. There we go. Nice easy one, 26 seconds. Don't know if I've noticed that Raglan team right there with Khazro. No, I didn't. I think that might have been a bit of an easier one. That's swift parry, 100% lower power. That's definitely swift parry. So I see I've learned from my last reset. I don't want any crazy long fights. Just decided to go with this one. Got 2 revivers. Now the secret we're here is to try and kill Necrit, because he does a bunch of damage mitigation on the... Oh, luckily we got the Fear as well. That was really strong. We got the Fear on the Blind Seer at that point, which is really good. Did unfortunately get our Duchess taken out, which means we've only got 1 go, but it's fine. And yep, 24 seconds. So yeah, always go for Necrit first, because you won't be able to kill, even with the crazy damage that Inquisitor does, you won't be able to kill Duchess with all those buffs on her. So we get cut in there. Didn't manage to strip. Mountain King starts doing damage. And yeah, there we go. The Reviver is out. Didn't actually... He had Strengthen on there. Strengthen's a bit of a pain. Now, this actually, I think this might be the one fight. Yeah, I'll let this one run out, but this was the only time I made a real big mistake. So we've taken out Mountain King now. So I'm in that weird position where I've lost one of my Inquisitors, but I can't revive, because if I do try and revive, Lydia's passive will kick in and she'll revive stuff. So what I thought is I was just going to grind it out and hopefully just be able to kill them both with my Inquisitor, with a single Inquisitor, that is. I think this is the fight anyway, I might be wrong. But as you can see, go for the revive there, decide not to. Shouldn't have attacked her because she was going to use her A3 when she got up. And now she starts using her strength and speed buffs, strengthening and speed buffs, and it makes it a bit of an issue. I've got decreased defense and weaken on my Inquisitor, which means he starts taking a ton of damage just like that, and boom, he's dead too. Now I've got a bit of a problem. So there's a definite argument that I should have probably backed out at the start of this one. But I was determined. I knew I could win it. It was just going to take ages because I've got 2 champions here to his 1. I can't revive though, that is the problem. And his Lydia is actually pretty tanky, and my guys do a very small amount of damage. They're not built for damage at all. I don't even have 100% crit on my Kymar because I've gone for like 600 plus accuracy. So we're up to like 2 minutes here. It's not ideal. I probably should have backed out. And she's obviously got Immortal on as well by the looks of it, or some healing coming from somewhere, so... Yeah, this is definitely a grind. But this was really the only big mistake I made, and if I hadn't done this and it was just a normal fight, then I could have probably gotten another 2 wins at the same time, so I reckon I could have placed at least 20-30 places higher than I actually did at the end of this one. So you can see where I potentially could have got to if I hadn't have done this. As you can see, she's actually quite close to killing my Kymar, which is quite worrying because I was thinking if she did kill Kymar, then I've got 0 chance of killing her with my Duchess, and she's got 0 chance of killing my Duchess, so it would just be a standoff, so I'd just have to quit. But with that sleep, taking off the buffs, I was able to get in a poison as well, which really helped. Because I've got the poison on, I thought that would have killed her, didn't quite, but there we go. 3 minutes 18. Not good. Not good at all. So that was my big mistake. Now I'm in a bit of a rush, which means you make even more mistakes usually, but fortunately I don't think I did. Start taking my time again, looking for the right team. Looking for nice high resistance team, someone I can kill pretty quickly. 270k, 9k, that looks like Swift Parry all over. Right there, that looks like a decent enough team for me. 2 revivers, sorry. Potentially Swift Parry, but slept most of them here. There we go. Killed the Duchess. We don't actually know if she had Swift Parry, it might have just not procced. Down. And Chris down, 24 seconds. That's a bit better. Much better than 3 minutes. So we're down to the last 5 minutes here. And yeah, that 3 minute fight's really cost me a lot of points, I believe. Here's a nice high power one with the Tormund, but Tormund's not an issue because we've got Duchess going first. Sleep them all, luckily, and then take down the Reviver. Now, just a case of the grind again. Unfortunately, Swift Parry proc there. Didn't want to wake up. Probably should have just attacked Tormund there, would have made more sense. And he's got Swift Parry on too. No chance of winning, just slowing me down massively. So I was able to AoE both of them there with Kymar and start A1 in this Tormund to get it under a minute at least. I think I managed to get it under a minute. There we go, 53, so not great, but not the end of the world. But as you can see, it's a lot of... Yeah, this looks pretty reasonable. I don't think I actually go for that one in the end. It's a hell of a lot of the same teams, you know, a lot of Revivers, a lot of Swift Parry, not a lot of, you know, Arbiter, into Siffi, into Madame, into Trunda sort of teams that we're used to seeing a lot of the time. It's definitely a lot tankier, a lot of stalling. There we go, strip them all, take down the only reviver, which is good. Krisk is down, we've got a fear up, and now it's an easy one. Hopefully there's not a swift parry on this last guy, and it's another 24 seconder. Perfect, 2 minutes to go. So if we get a few more of those, we could potentially fit in like another 3 or 4. At this point, I don't want to take a risk, even though I'm pushing, it's only 2 minutes to go. I'm not wanting to get stuck against a really bad swift parry team. So as you can see, I'm looking for them, but they all look very suspicious, like swift parry, so didn't go for them. Could have potentially just gone at this point for someone. This looks a much better team though. Although Brachus can be a bit of a pain. But this is the way, this is actually a good one. This shows you how to deal with Brachus if you are fighting a team like this. So take out the reviver as usual. What I do is I target Brachus. He's got swift parry on, obviously. Now, the great thing about Duchess is he has to attack Duchess, so I make sure and kill him with my Duchess, because if I did that with my other champion now, he'd have been dead. There we go, Tormund's down. And he's down for good. And now we just got to kill the Tormund. So in that circumstance, it's actually quite good having the swift parry on Brachus, because otherwise he would have gone straight back at my Inquisitor and killed him. So I think this is the exact same team again. So I know what to do here. Take down the Siffi. This guy has swift parry on. Procs again. Take him out with Duchess. He does the damage on Duchess. Now I can reset and take out her. Take out the Tormund. So I think we've got this one just in on time. This will be the last fight, I believe. And there we go. That is it. That is it all over. So no players in Platinum tier. So I think at this point my phone was going again, so I was just playing about with my mouse just before I found out how I did. I had a quick look at my defense. So let's have a wee look. I've been attacked a fair bit, but I've got a good few victories in there this time. I did beef up my Mountain King quite a bit, which definitely got me some victories. There we go. So in the last 20 minutes, not really attacked a crazy amount, and won a decent chunk of them, so pretty happy with that actually. My defense seemed to hold out fairly well actually. Right, so here we go. Let's check, finally checking the tier. So we did make Platinum, and let's see how we did. So 120 on this one. We finally got that avatar that was after as well, which was really cool. That's quite a few Platinum resets and never actually got that avatar, so I'm pretty happy with that. The gear was terrible, as usual. Really need to get some better gear for Platinum player aim. It's pretty poor, to be honest, but pretty happy with 128. I could have definitely been in the top 100 this time. My best placing so far in Platinum was like 104, so I definitely would have beaten this time if I hadn't have fought that ridiculous 3-and-a-bit minute fight, and if I hadn't lost that other random Kitus fight that I shouldn't have gone into. So there we go, guys. That is the reset. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for next week's one. I'm actually going to now work on my team for next week. So the team I was using again mainly is this Inquisitor team. I've gone through it last week, so I'm not going to go into depth, but it's the same gear, exact same gear I had on them. So I've just got about a sort of 290 crit damage, 100% crit rate. Inquisitor, you don't need Helm Smasher, you don't need any Savage gear or anything like that because he ignores all defense anyway. And a Relentless one here. The damage is fine on them. They're killing everyone I need to when they need to, so it's not like I need more damage. What I need is more speed. So saved up some speed glyphs. Gonna change the gear about and go for, if I could get sort of 240 plus speed on both of them, I'd be happy, because he's only at 210, but he's at like 230. I want about 240, 250 plus speed. And then my Kaimar's, he's pretty strong. I've got some perception gear on him, on me, sorry, that could get him to about, make him about 650 accuracy, but only like 280 speed, and then I could probably glyph him with a few 6-star glyphs I've got up to about 290 again. And then I've just thrown Enio gear on this Duchess, not that one, this one, for the meantime, but I could definitely get her speed up way more than 293, so, but the teams I'm fighting, you don't particularly need to do it, so I will gear them all up for next week. Just check last week's video if you want to see my defense. It hasn't changed at all, apart from one thing on Mountain King. That's the Mountain King here. He got some new gauntlets, some really good ones. So crit damage, shield set with a 20% crit rate, which means his crit rate's up a bit from last week. So I don't ever really have him at 100%, but 87 is pretty good for what he's doing just now. 108k health. I'll be able to get that up to about 120k health once I finish off my Great Hall and get my final few HP glyphs. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and have a great day, guys. Peace.